Komatsu 61PX. Operator is saying while it's cutting, the blade is actually doing this, chopping away. So we'll actually take a look at that. Usually that's valve offset. If nothing's going red and you have good GPS, could be I just changed this cable not that long ago, so I know it was running. Komatsu 61PX. These are actually pretty awesome cutting machines, especially when they have the IntelliGrade on them. They can actually push and not skid out, basically not lose traction, so the blade will actually push until it can't push anymore. It's kind of like a, I don't know, what do you call it, a float, if you will. The blade will actually come up and start taking less material, but it won't stop traction. It won't sit there and slip. Pretty awesome combined with GPS, but I don't think this one is intelligent, so let's see what's going on here. Let's give this thing a start. Man, that thing idles pretty high. In order for that blade to chop, it usually has something to do with the valve offsets if they were changed. I'm just running through these numbers real quick and making sure they make sense. Sensors there, IMU, that's about 3 feet down. 8 feet over from the right corner, looks about right. That looks about right. Yeah, if that's a 12-foot blade, okay. Track width, or track length, yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, they got a... Alright. And there's only a few measurements for this MC square system. It's one antenna on a blade with one sensor, so it's pretty simple stuff. Just make sure it's not on best fit. Sometimes they leave it on best fit and they say it's cutting weird. Yeah, that would do it. Check the valve offsets. Alright, so what I noticed with this D61, the blade is very choppy. I went into automatics, into valve offsets, and it's just erratic and crazy. But what I really noticed, and I'll show you, is how high these numbers were. Now let's go ahead and turn autos on. Oh, we gotta have our blade activated. Come on. There we go. Man, it feels like there's something wrong in that joystick. Anyway, alright, so autos will be on. Go into blade calibration, valve offsets. Raise up that RPM. Let me close that door so you can actually hear me. Now, once you hit set, that blade should start coming up, right? Except you actually have to touch the joystick for it to do. See how it's jerking like that? And it's not even coming down. Alright, so we may have a corrupt file here, or these numbers are just seriously high. Look at that. I mean, 600s, almost 700s. I mean, that's really high. So what I'm going to do, every machine has a calibration and measurements. It's the machine setup. Whoops. Machine file. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to install the original from this machine. We can turn down that RPM now. Actually, let me do this. Let me just go in here and edit that one. Let me just change the date so I know. I'm going to put today's date, which is... What is today's date? How come I never know what today's date is? September 27th, so 9-27-21. So we know that file, next, finish. We know that file is the one that is supposed to be, you know, the good one, but it's not. So, well, we'll see. So, D to 3DMC, and this is the original file. We'll load that, and we'll actually load it into the machine. Bam, we went green automatically, so that's a good file. Now, let's raise up the RPMs. Let's go into blade calibration and check out the original valve offsets. Look at how low those are. I mean, they were doubled. And we still don't have anything. Komatsu can valve, can input. Okay. Well, let's just come down with it and watch this. You have to actually so somebody was playing with these valve offsets. It's not moving. So what they did is they decided to raise up these numbers themselves to get to a point where it would move, but that was too much for the machine. I mean, they might need to go up a little bit. We'll check. That's at 330. We'll raise it up and see. This is what they did. They just sat here and they played with these numbers until it started to move. But it's not moving. There, it's moving now, but there's something wrong with that joystick. Alright, I'm gonna put that right back where I found it. We actually have most likely a can input problem, hydraulic problem, and we'll just set that and hit OK. Alright, let's go out and look, see if we can identify the problem. I'll turn autos off. So what we're doing to test this, basically I'm going to isolate the project altogether because it's out of design, and I want the autos to work on a surface, okay? So I need to test the autos. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up here where it's flat, and I'm going to make a surface for it, which I've already done, but I'll show you how to do that. Oh yeah, this is nice right here. Perfect, 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 perfect. Alright, so right here, be good. put our blade down nice and flat as we can, kind of with the actual body of the dozer. Come into File, Surfaces, New, and Flat Plane Surface. Just name it, whatever. Okay, next. Actually, I'll do one for you. And we named it Test. Next. And you'll get this little screen here where it wants you to measure. So what it's going to do, hit that little measure button. It's going to measure where the blade is. Bam, there's your northeast elevation. Hit finished. That's your test. Hit OK. You're going to use that as a new surface. That way we're not in the project at all. And I'm thinking this might have something to do with the project because I put the original file in this, and it should be, and there's nothing else wrong with it. It should be cutting fine. So here we are now on a flat surface. You see the white line, nice and flat, and we're actually reading some grade here. So all I have to do, put it in autos and start going forward. That blade should adjust. If that blade adjusts, then we know autos are working. Let me slow down a little bit. It looks like it's adjusting to me. Actually, it's not. See how it's saying go down? It's not adjusting. Alright, we can do this in the air. So I raise it up about a foot. Match surface. We're matching where the blade is. Alright, and it gives you an offset value. So now it should be at 0-ish, roundabout. Autos are on. Let's cycle them through. Autos are on, going forward. We should see that blade adjust. If it doesn't, there's something wrong with it. Yeah, see, it's not adjusting. Not adjusting. Alright, so now let's go in here, crank up the RPMs, let's go into control, blade calibration, valve offsets, and we'll just hit set. That blade should be raising up. That blade should come down. That blade should slope right. That blade should slope left. It's not doing that, not doing that. Alright, so we'll leave it on slope right. Let's just play with this joystick. Nothing, no response. No response. I mean, it wants to go. When you go down with it, just push down with it. Should come back up. It's coming. Jerking. Something wrong. Okay. Alright, so what we found, what I found, this is interesting. So let's go ahead, put the system on autos, and it's just simply this little button right here. This is a factory handle. Now watch this. Do you see that movement in that handle? It's not actually hitting the micro switch until you push it forward just a tad, and then the autos work. So watch. So we'll go into control, blade, calibration, valve offset. We'll hit set. It's actually coming up now, but if I pull this back just a tiny little bit, it's not engaging that micro switch. It's not working. Push this forward just a tiny little bit, and that blade starts to activate. So this is a Komatsu deal. This actually wouldn't be part of the GPS system, the TopCon system. We do install the switch, but actually I think Komatsu does that as part of the joystick itself. So down there, where it makes contact with the micro switches and pushes that micro switch, it's got a worn out spot where it just kind of sits there and lulls around like that until it actually engages. So that's a Komatsu issue. We need to have that replaced. The whole joystick needs to be replaced by Komatsu. Yeah. So, because we don't want to confuse these guys, we had made a flat surface, right? So go back into File, Surface, and update that surface. Actually, we need to go to Active and change it back to the original surface, whatever they had. Let's say Active, Surface. I don't know what surface they were on. I'm gonna say maybe that one. Yeah, that's it. Okay, and they're back to where they were. So, of course, they're not gonna be able to use this system unless they hold this handle forward while operating, which is gonna be difficult because they need to. I don't know. That's gonna be tough. So Komatsu's gonna have to come out here and replace that. That's it. Everything works. What they did do to try to compensate, to try to fix this problem themselves, is they raised these offset values up super high. That's why you were getting that jerking motion. And I knew right away what it was. These valve offsets need to be perfect. And the blade actually goes up really slow. This one was trying to go up too fast and it was jerking. So these are the original numbers from the original calibration and measurement when we came out here and did this machine originally, and I just reloaded that in. We have a file with all those in it, and yeah, all they need is a new handle. Good to go.